Good morning. I would like to speak with you today about living your life spectacularly so that you can win. And I want you to consider this a pep talk to help you get up and moving into your greatness and ultimately walking through the door to your destiny. Now, in this brief talk, I would like to leave you with 12 points to consider as you reach for those stars. But before I go over them, with your permission, I want to touch on a couple of other things first, if that's okay with you. So, this is the thing. There are many people at this moment who are diligently trying to find their way in what to them appears to be a shroud of darkness. Some are so determined to succeed, even though they may feel internally a lack of support and a lack of encouragement from those around them. Perhaps you who are listening today are one of those people. Maybe you might be feeling that you are giving everything you have to overcome obstacles and to turn your life or your situation around, but are wondering, does it really matter? Well, I want to say to you today, yes, 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 it does matter. You matter. You are a spectacular human being, and you have the power to reach your destiny. But to do so, your will to succeed must be greater than the hard work it might take for you to achieve your dreams. If you have the will, there is absolutely no doubt that you will accomplish your goals. That is, as long as it is in alignment with your higher truth. And that's the key factor. You see, there is a light inside of you, and it's up to you to turn that switch on. But in order for it to come on, when you flip that switch, it must be wired properly and connected to an energy source. And that energy source is your divine source, the God in you. You see, I know a lot of people borrow energy from other people, and they borrow positions from other people. And what I mean by that is it really doesn't matter who your political, your religious, or your social connections are. It doesn't even matter who your family connections are. What matters the most is that internal connection and whether or not you are true to who you are. Now, it can be very challenging to stay positive in the midst of chaos and negative vibrations. I get that. It's hard to find neutral ground when everything around you is in disarray or chaotic. However, you can, but it takes some adjustments and realignment of loyalties. And the first person you owe loyalty to is your higher self and your divine truth. Everything else and every other relationship must launch from that foundation. Life's battles do not have to get you down. Most likely, many of the battles that you have taken on were not even yours in the first place. So you have to get off that soap opera, if you're on it, and get back to telling your own incredible story so that you can leave an amazing legacy. You have to get to speaking in your beautiful truth and create a beautiful, beautiful world around you. If I were to tell you that whenever you speak, you create, would you believe me? If I told you that if you changed your thoughts, that you can actually change your condition, would you believe me? Well, the thing is this. Everything happening in the world today is a result of people speaking and thinking it into existence. Your life is a product of what you spoke and thought at some point in time in your life. So if you want different, then speak and think differently. Your sphere of existence is a product of what you put there, and you have the power to change it at any time. Yet changing your environment starts with changing yourself. You have to have the will to change. You have to be willing to get rid of limiting belief systems and bad habits. You have to be willing to eliminate anything that works in contrary to your destiny. You have to be willing to own what is yours, what belongs to you. Take responsibility for the mess in your life, because you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. You cannot change what you do not own. So own your mess, then transform that mess into a powerful message. See, the reality is no one has to point out your flaws to you. You saw them long before anyone else did. You know when you are not operating at your best because you, like many people, are critical of yourself, even more critical than other people are of you. And although you might not admit it, and perhaps many other people may not admit it, but people are more critical of themselves in private than anyone else could ever be. Some people are their own worst enemy, and they wear behavior masks to cover up their insecurities. But you don't have to do that. You are worthy. And regardless of your perceived weaknesses or flaws, you are worthy to be successful. You are worthy to be loved. You are worthy to be all of the wonderful and spectacular things that you yearn to be. So just as important it is for you to own your mess, it is equally important for you to own the fabulous things about yourself as well. So now, let's go over these 12 points. Point number 1, go back to basics. Remember, more is not always better. Sometimes it's just more. Point number 2, be honest with yourself and what it is that you want in your life, and then be courageous to go after it. Point number 3, listen to your intuition. Listen to that higher voice that resonates within you. Don't shrug it off or dismiss it so quickly, because sometimes you actually do know better. Point number 4, stop worrying about proving yourself. Just be who you are and allow your true beauty to demonstrate your extraordinary being. Point number 5, remember that you are worthy and deserving. And no matter who thinks you are not, a word to the wise, people who authentically value themselves often value others around them as well. And I think that's a point that I need to repeat. Remember that you are worthy and deserving, and no matter who thinks that you are not, remember that you are worthy. Because people who authentically value themselves often value other people who are around them as well. Point number 6, be yourself. Everyone else is taken, and no matter how much others want to see more of themselves in the world or even in you, you don't have to become them. They're taken, so you might as well be yourself. And yourself is better for you. That suits you anyway. Point number 7, stop asking permission to shine. That's like the sun asking for permission to come out each day and let its light shine. You see, when the sun shines, we celebrate. And that is exactly what will happen when you allow your true beauty to shine through. Sure, there will be some people who want to throw shade on your light, but just keep on shining anyway, because your light will possibly move back their clouds. Point number 8, don't be afraid to change where change is needed. Having areas where you need to grow in or evolve in is not a mark on you or your frailties. It just shows that you are willing to keep growing and evolving. And that's a good thing. And also, if there's something that you like about yourself, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't go trying to change aspects of yourself that you're happy with just because someone else don't like it. Be you, do you. Own your stuff and don't be afraid to change where change is needed. And don't be afraid to say, hey, I like this about myself. Point number 9, stay grounded. Some people will have you thinking that something is wrong with you when it's not. So know who you are and keep looking in the proverbial mirror as well as the physical mirror and stay rooted and grounded in your truth. Point number 10, build connections with those who support your journey and who are positive about your life transformations and who believes in you. Don't allow negative energies to pull you down. Point number 11, get rid of limiting belief systems. Just because it works one way for one person doesn't mean it works that way for you. Don't get trapped in the clone syndrome. And our final point, point number 12, overcome bad habits and bad attitudes. Be grateful. So, just to quickly recap these points, go back to basics. That's point number 1. Point number 2, be honest with yourself. Point number 3, listen to your intuition. Point number 4, stop worrying about proving yourself. Point number 5, remember that you are worthy and deserving. Point number 6, be yourself. Point number 7, stop asking permission to shine. Point number 8, don't be afraid to change where change is needed. Point number 9, stay grounded. Point number 10, build connections with those who support your journey. Point number 11, get rid of limiting belief systems. And point number 12, overcome bad habits and bad attitudes and be grateful. So, I want you to consider these 12 points and start thinking and speaking life into your situation and circumstances. And this is how you start to live your life spectacularly and win. Thank you for listening and have a beautiful, beautiful day.